Kayak Fishing Tales is brought to you by Ocean Kayak, makers of the Trident and Ultra series of fishing kayaks, and the Torque, which features a removable Minn Kota motor. Check them out at oceankayak.com.
When it comes to choosing the right fishing line for kayak fishing, first you need to understand the three basic types of line that you'll come across: mono, braid, and fluorocarbon. Now, mono has been around forever, and the biggest difference of it with the other lines is that mono really has a lot of stretch, where the other lines don't. This makes it a good choice for trolling, as you're less likely to jerk the bait out of fish's mouth. But the cost for stretch is sensitivity. You just won't feel the bites like you will with the other lines. Now, fluorocarbon is a fishing line that was designed to be invisible in water, which it does incredibly well, which is why it's become one of the most popular lines to use as a leader. Fluorocarbon is quickly gaining popularity as a main line because it has so much less stretch than mono, but is a lot more abrasion resistant. The last of the three line types we'll talk about is braided fishing line. Braided line is created by weaving many strands of fiber together. The result is a super strong line with very little stretch. And because it's very abrasion resistant, it will cut right through kelp and structure, which is a huge advantage when you're fishing the kelp beds. One of the biggest advantages to braided line is that it is so much smaller in diameter than mono or fluorocarbon, which allows you to fish for bigger fish with smaller reels. The only real drawback to braid is that it doesn't hold knots nearly as well, so you want to make sure you're tying the right knots. And the lack of stretch can sometimes yank that lure or hook right out of the fish's mouth. So then how do you choose the right line for kayak fishing? The truth is you can't go wrong with any of these choices as long as you have the right weight line for the job. Along those lines, you want to remember though, in kayak fishing, you can get away with fishing lighter line because the kayak actually acts as drag. So you're not putting nearly as much pressure on the line as you think you are. Your kayak's movement through the water absorbs a lot of the pressure that would be on your rod, line, and fishing reel, allowing you to fish with much lighter line. The main thing is fish that light line and have a heavier leader for the job if you have a toothy fish. So with all this said, here's a quick rundown of the line I use. When targeting big saltwater fish, I might use 40-pound mono or 80-pound braid, and then I'll add the appropriate size leader. If it's yellowtail, it might be a 40-pound leader. If it's a marlin, it might be a 100-pound leader. For smaller saltwater fish, I might jump down to 20-pound mono or 40 to 60-pound braid, and again, adjust the leader to the size of fish that you're targeting. When I'm fishing freshwater for bass, pike, or muskie, I'll often use 30-pound braid and then a leader, whether it's wire or a heavy mono. But for freshwater jigging for walleye or light bass fishing, I'll go with 8-pound fluorocarbon line without a leader, or a 25-pound braid with a short 6 to 10-pound fluoro leader. Of course, there's no right or wrong answer here for which line to use. It comes down to personal preference. Try them all and see which one you like the best. Until next time, I'm Jim Sammons, and that's your kayak fishing tip of the week.
For more tips and your chance to win a fantastic kayak fishing package that includes an Ocean Kayak Trident fishing kayak and EXOFFICIO clothing, visit KayakFishingShow.com.